The best way to set your camera brightness known as exposure on your camera, because the novice call it brightness, but major language of camera is exposure. So now on your Canon camera, when you open this LCD, we call this LCD, you see your function. Since it's a screen touch, just press the function button on your camera. Then we have different way of setting this exposure. Now you see your record program, you press your record program. Now we have P, but as a professional, we have two ways that you can work on your camera. We will not be talking about this TV and AV because we don't need that when you are shooting as a professional. Your manner, that's what we'll be talking on. Now, on your P now, when you set your camera on P, it allows you to go to another extra setting to work on. That's, you go to, now you can see your exposure here, that is active. You press your exposure, then it's on M. I've already told you the other time that your M stand as what? Manual. So you press your M, so which now allow you to increase. You can see the effect on the lens. Then if it is too bright. Now for you now asking the question that how did you know that your camera is bright or not? So you use your own eye cube to check if it is bright. What is showing you on the lens is what is showing you on the other TV, that for the mixer or any other place that you are seeing it. So you can see that now it's dark. So definitely your image will surely be dark. So now, but if you increase it, your image is perfect, and which is overexposed. We call it overexposed or burnt on camera. But you can now check it now. So I can say this is okay by me if you are using P on your camera to set. So, and the other one is, which is, we are not talking about the, still under the record button, we change it to, let's change it to manual. So now we are working on manual now. On your manual already you have all your settings here, which is your manual exposure. Now if I should close this stuff now and I go back to my function, my exposure is no more active because already I have all my settings on the manual setting here. So now on this aspect now we have what we call F. So we can see your three aspects here, which is your F, your 1/, then your dB. So I'll be telling you one after the other now about all this stuff. So your F22 now means that this F really means your exposure. We really call this one exposure. So now on your F, you press your F now, you can see that your lens can absorb up to 2.2. Understand? But now, if I see that, now you can see that it's too overexposed. So you can now increase it. The more you increase it, the more you are reducing light that enter the lens. So you can see what is happening here now. So now you can now use your settings. Now I will tell you that if you are in a place that you have enough light, it's better for you to use 4.0 or 3.4 on your camera. Then you can now go to your the other one, which is your 1/. Anyone that you see on 1/, is, we call it shutter speed, which is this. When you click on it, you see that's your shutter speed. It also allow you to gain light into the camera also. But the effect of this one on your camera is, why we call it shutter speed, is that whenever you are moving, it will be moving on a slow motion. Can you see now? But when you increase it to 50 upward, it will be perfect. But when you reduce it to this, it will be showing you a slow motion. Can you see it on your camera now, on your lens? So it will be showing you slow motion. But from 50 upward, you can get a perfect movement. So which will not show any effect on your camera. So now the other one, we call it iris, which is your dB. When you say dB on any camera, dB really means iris. It's still also light effect. So you can reduce it also. The more you reduce it, the more you reduce light inside the camera. But the more you increase it, the more you invite light into the camera. So now, if I may ask a question now, I would rather prefer putting my shutter speed on 1/250, or I may rather use 120 or 250. Then I would now rather increase my dB to get this. So Now, if I notice that I'm not satisfied with what I'm getting here, then I can increase my exposure, which is your F. If you see F on any camera, that means your exposure. So I can now reduce this, because on this exposure now, the more you reduce your button, the more you gain light on the camera. But the more you increase your iris, the more you gain light on your camera. So if I'm okay with this, so now if you move, you see that you have a perfect movement and you have a perfect image. So, but as a professional, it's better for you to use manual on any camera that you are using, because whenever any professional is passing by and look at your camera and you see that you are using M on your camera, it gives you kudos that you are working on a manual level. You being lazy a bit on camera. So, but when you are using your manual, you have enough way to work on. And this, you can even on it down when you are even recording or shooting inside a church or outside work. So when you are recording, you still have access to even still be reducing your light, because you notice that the way the light is not balanced on every area. You can't compare outer light with congregation light. You can't compare any outside light with indoor light. So you have different type of light that you are using. So it's better for you to leave it on your screen like this, so that in case you are moving like this, now you can see that the light I'm getting here is not the same as the light I'm getting here. So the way I'm working now, I can easily be reducing and still be balancing my camera up. So that's what you have to. Now I've increased it to that means that I don't have enough light before. Now I have to reduce the light back. So now you don't need to ask anybody that, okay, how am I going to get enough light that my camera is bright enough? What you are seeing on your screen is what is showing on any other place. So now the only question is that you have to be very, very vigilant and use your own IQ to know the perfect light the perfect setting and the perfect light you are using on your camera. Thank you.